Okay, soup kitchen on the Saturday, and lots of volunteer, and one guy I've been knowing for a long time. We're going to have a little chat. What's your name?
Alan Sears.
And you are?
I'm a professor of education at the University of New Brunswick.
I had someone that sent me an email, and it was about a woman in Antigonish that was killed by her husband, supposedly. And there's a lot of people that visited my site after they searched her name. And you knew her, huh?
I knew her very well.
What was her name?
Ottilia Chareka.
How was she?
She's an amazing person. There is a short video clip posted. St. Evex has a memorial site for her. At the bottom of the memorial page, you can link to a YouTube video that shows her perfectly. She's vivacious, strong, full of faith, beautiful person.
How did you meet her?
She was a student of mine at UNB. I first supervised her master's work, and then I supervised her. She went home to. She's from Zimbabwe originally. I supervised her master's from 1993 to 95. She went home to Zimbabwe and then came back, and I supervised her PhD. She finished her PhD in 2005, so she came back around 2000.
And she worked at the Crown Plaza, cleaning.
She worked cleaning. When she originally came to UNB, it was because her husband was doing a PhD, and she wanted to do a certificate in education and had to pay her own fees. So she went and got a job as a maid and earned her own way. Already had one child and was pregnant with a second while she was here, but she finished a diploma, and then she finished a master's degree paying her own way by working at the Crown Plaza.
I have a lot of people that end up on my blog after searching her name. She must have touched a lot of people.
She touched everybody who knew Ottilia loved her, and she was very strong, very positive. She did a lot of work with young African Canadian people, trying to encourage them to do more education, to get into teaching. That was one of the things she was involved with at St. Evex. She did a lot of work with First Nations people at St. Evex.
Really?
Yep. She worked on a big project with some First Nations communities, their education project. She was an expert in human rights and
please don't mention that word. My God, don't blow the interview. That's all right. Sorry.
She was an expert in human rights education and social justice, and she promoted social justice wherever she went. For immigrants, for people who were from communities that didn't always get treated well, she made sure they did.
The reason I said that, just for the record, I'm not a fan of the New Brunswick Human Rights Commission, so that's why I just crawl when I hear that name. So the funeral is when?
Pardon me? Funeral is tomorrow at 2 o'clock. That's what is it tomorrow? The 20th, I guess, right? At 2 o'clock at the chapel at St. Evex in Antigonish, yes.
2 o'clock tomorrow.
2 o'clock tomorrow.
That place will be packed.
Yeah, we're going to get there around noon because we want to make sure we get a seat. There's an academic procession as part of the funeral, so I get invited to march in that with my robes and other professors from UNB and St. Evex, so I'll have a seat, but I'm going to get there early enough that my wife gets a seat, and some of our friends, other friends that are coming from Fredericton. There'll be lots of Fredericton people there.
Thanks a lot, Al.
Okay.